Good evening, and welcome to this part of the Connection Zone here in the West Hall. And today we're going to talk a little bit about the future of our business, which is just changing every day. Specifically, Jared Timmons and I are with Diversified, and we are here and very happy to be part of this Connection Zone, which seems to be talking about the innovative new directions that our industry is taking. And really, if you think about it, we talk a lot about change. And I know everybody in this audience. Look at that. So, we talk a lot about it. Thank you for attending this Diversified meeting that we're holding here, with a cocktail party that goes with it. So what we're going to do, is talk just a little bit about what's happened in the market, a little bit what we're seeing today, and some of the ways that we're delivering on, sort of meeting the needs of what I'd call this evolving broadcast market. It's not the broadcast market, it's really the media market. NAB should change their name, I said, to NAM. It doesn't make any sense. National Associated Media. Who would go to that? That doesn't even make any sense. So for the longest time, as an integrator, we've been talking about the fact that more and more our business is changing from hardware integration to software integration. One of the things that we're doing here at this show is for the first time actually showing actual examples of that coming to life and looking at software applications that are being built by Diversified that are serving customers' needs. As more and more hardware, and as we explain it, that we used to be the experts to tell you which pieces of hardware to put together, that we would rack together and wire them and say, this is a solution that best fits your needs. As we go forward, we're the company that still knows the best solutions that we can put together, but they're software solutions. And instead of wire, it'll be APIs. It'll be software that we connect to with them. And so more and more, we become a developer. We become an integrator of those software solutions. That's a radical change for the business. But it's an important message that we're delivering to the marketplace, that we understand the market's evolving. Hello, Mr. Helmut. We understand it's just like a reunion when you come to NAB. The more we understand the developments that are happening in the marketplace, right? And we're meeting the marketplace where I think it is. So, I mean, the topic of that really is change. And I think the first slide that we had was really just a couple of bullets, was about change. Jared, you're fulfilling on it.
Well, and I think the change is not just a technical change or an infrastructure change. It's a fundamental change to the way we work. And I think a big part of what we've been really striving to do with our vendor partners and our clients is digitize the process of engaging in projects, because we're no longer, and nor can we afford any longer, to build fixed facilities that are built for the worst case utilization with a 25-year runway that you're amortizing them from. It doesn't work because the pace of change is continually moving forward faster and faster and faster. So we have to adapt the partnership ways that we work, both with our vendor community to make sure that we have the digital maturity across the components and how they're being built, and with our clients in a more joint DevOps multilateral approach. So what we really are working to build with our clientele is more of adaptable content centers as opposed to fixed facilities, so that we change the paradigm being from, hey, this is a transaction that we did for a project, to we're now development partners on a journey that together constantly solving your business needs and outcomes.
And it doesn't end, right? So it wasn't like when you built that facility, you could say, all right, we're done. Because if you built it for the worst case scenario, you were done. But today, and if you could scale what you're building, it just keeps evolving, and you can add to it and build onto it. But mostly because it is, in fact, software, right? So Jared runs what we call innovation, right? And innovation is not us innovating and just giving it to the marketplace. It's actually taking information from the marketplace, listening to clients, and thinking, okay, how can we fulfill on that need, right? And I think we've got some good examples of what we've seen today, of the reaction of what we've put on the show floor, right? And we can talk a little bit about that too.
Right? Absolutely. Well, I think infinite infrastructure as a concept is really how we are approaching the way we build. And I think as we started to build out in the cloud, there was a push to really use the available services that were offered by the cloud service providers, right? Which I think is a lot of benefit, and the tool sets were those were the early tool sets. But what we've really tried to do is look at things from the lens of how can we make things omni-cloud? How can we make it irrelevant the infrastructure that you're putting your workflows on, whether that's on premise, at a private cloud or a public cloud, or at, remotely at someone's house. Being able to be flexible and making sure that we're building things with the right componentry where we have no dependencies on specific niche things in a cloud provider provides as a tool set. We've built all the tool sets out ourselves. We've built everything with enterprise grade security in a way that allows us to work with our clients and develop alongside them so they can understand that this is going to be secure, it's going to be flexible, it's going to be scalable, and it's going to be collaborative in the way that we approach it.
I think the best part of it is clients that we've worked with for years and may have thought, I'm not really sure if a company like Diversified is going to be relevant to me going forward, are seeing what we're doing and going, wow, this is game changing. These are the kinds of things that we need. Nobody else is doing those kinds of tools, but it makes sense. An integrator was always the neutral body, if you will, that could bring a variety of different vendors together to provide that solution. That's really why I think we fit so well as the provider of those kinds of solutions.
100% agree. And I think as we move into more of these software-based workflows in the cloud, what we're the working name before our release of the product is intelligent orchestration. And the whole component of that is being able to take things and make them operator focused. Right? If you have to make more content than you've ever made before because the competitive situation demands that we have to be very aggressive in our content strategies, and you have to do that with a cost base that requires you to have Kubernetes engineers and very highly trained and expensive people to accomplish that, it limits the amount of business model experimentation that we can do. And critical to everything that we're showing is the ability for us to try new things, fail, learn, find the thing that succeeds, and when it does succeed, double down on it and be able to scale it overnight, right? And so in doing that, it also, I think, allows us as a vendor, as a partner to our clientele to be able to solve one of the biggest problems, which is when we started out in this cloud journey, everyone was trying to do the Super Bowl in the cloud. It was the cloud will be relevant when we can validate that it could do the hardest things that we could do on premise. And we missed the 98% of our use cases that would have just worked day one, right? And so a big part of what we're trying to push as a citizen of this industry is that as an industry, it is absolutely imperative that we expand our addressable market, that we're able to condition all these media adjacent markets that are emerging as well, and be able to do that meets the consumer how they want to consume, right? As opposed to what I think was the old quality standard, which all was, hey, what's the bit rate? Is it 4K? Is it HDR? And really, I believe the new defining quality standard is it flexible to the context at which the person watching the content wants to consume it.
The number of times that I think I've had a conversation with a customer who said, we want to build a facility and we want to build it state of the art. State of the art is a moment in time. And as soon as you build that facility, it's already out of date. And the difference really in this approach, which will radically change the way the business works, is that it constantly can change. It can
must constantly change.
We need more scale. We need less scale. We don't need to pay for that. We can spin that up when we need it. That aspect is, we almost have to relearn how to do the business.
I think the whole business has to relearn how to perform in the way it used to, right? If you look at the targets that we're trying to hit, streaming as a for instance, right? No one's found that silver bullet that's really going to be the next generation monetization. In fact, the best predictions we have is that maybe some of the streaming providers will be profitable by 2025, right? And by the time we get to 2025, there's going to be new demands on how content is consumed. There's going to be more three-dimensionalization of content, more experiential content that's available. So being able to work with our customers and clients to be able to determine what is your North Star that you're going after, what are the things that you want to test, but not from the technical side, not saying, hey, I want this kind of content, but what are your business objectives? What are you trying to achieve? And how can we work with you digitally in real time with asynchronous communication to be able to constantly be hearing that and moving forward with incremental improvements that drive the business to another level?
So I think the message is forging the future is scary. Forging the future is unknown. How are you going to get there? You can't do it on your own. And I think the message that we really feel we can help a lot. We're adapting and changing our company to fit this model to be able to be flexible, versatile, fast with a response, and that whole change in how we actually what we're providing. So and it's not like the rest of our business isn't changing too. Commercial models are changing, tech stacks are changing. So this long ago, a very I think wise person taught me that it is just constant white water. There is no still water that we're going to get to. This is going faster, and it's not going to slow down. So it's like, hitch on, get ready for the ride, and find partners that you can work with that are willing to kind of go right along at that same pace. And I think that's what we're trying to do.
It's exactly what we're trying to do. But in this new world, we have to become comfortable being uncomfortable. And I think that the conversations that we've had up to this point have really opened up what is, I think, an industry-wide need to form human-level APIs. And I think that's the thing I'm going to keep hitting on, because everyone talks about the technology, but we never tie that technology into the transformation that has to happen in our people, in the way that we think, in the way that we approach, in the way that we communicate. And we really look forward to leading the charge in that direction. And really are going to let everyone get back to getting another drink.
Thank you for your time. Please get comfortable and walk over to the bar and have a beverage, because it's important to hydrate. Remember, that's our public service message here for Las Vegas. Make sure you hydrate. There's water and beer. I'm sure there's water and beer. All right. Thank you very much.
Awesome.